R&B Money.
I'm in Damon's room, and I went downstairs to get high because you can't smoke in the studio, which I hated. So I went downstairs, propped the door, get high or whatever. I come upstairs, and I hear the beat in my head while I'm smoking and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. I just hear that, like I hear that shit. So I'm like, all right. So I go back upstairs. I don't know this shit because I do, MPCs and keyboards and shit. This was my introduction to using a DAW. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A digital audio workstation.
Yeah.
And we were using Logic. So it's just a keyboard and Logic. I'm like, fuck, let me just hear. So I'll just go through the shit. I think it was some Rob Knox kits loaded in there. I'm just doing shit until I find the shit that I, do. So I do that shit, do the beat, build out the rest of it. It's just going, and then I get to the part where I want to go to the next section, and the MIDI sustain is like just going, and I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, got you. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to say I'm too prideful, but I didn't want to go
and tell somebody
fuck these niggas session up or ask one of you elite ass niggas.
Hey guys,
sustain. I'm on the bench over here. How do you open this Gatorade? Like, you know what I'm saying?
How do you open this Gatorade?
The fuck nah. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna figure this shit out. So I'm up there just trying to figure it out, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just move all the shit to it just die out. So on the part, so that stays. So when it does the dun 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 dun, then it's like dun.
Oh shit!
Here we are. That wasn't on purpose. That was a real accident, and I just didn't want to tell niggas like I accidentally did that, or how do you fix that? Like, nobody said nothing. I'm like, oh my god, I ain't saying nothing.
They like it.
Just add the bubbles, add new bubbles after they're sustained. I already know what you're talking about.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I didn't know how to drag, go, cut, splice the shit. I didn't know, so when I get to that part after I paste it, I, play it again, I turn it up a little bit. Damon comes in the room, like literally like 7 minutes after I'm like doing it. He's like, yo, what is this? I'm like, I don't know, like shit, just I'm trying to do something. He's like, this is going on Chris Brown. And then he walked out the room. No cap. And I was like, nigga, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking in my head like that never happens.
Right.
Like nobody tells you like, I'm gonna do this. And then they do it.
Yeah.
Nah, that doesn't happen. So I just finished the shit and didn't know that Damon took what I did. They finished it, did the bridge, went up in A. Yeah. Harvey, they went, and y'all end up writing, doing all the shit. And I'm on the second floor, regular business. And my lawyer called me like, hey, do you have a single coming out on Chris Brown? I was like, no, I don't. Well, do I? I remember the conversation. I was like, no, I don't think so. I was like, wait, do I? He was like, we just got something from the Underdog saying that, boom, boom. I was like, this is crazy.
It all started clicking.
I'm like, Damon was the first person that told me that I'm going to do this. And he did it.
And it happened, yeah.
And that's why I don't care what nobody think, whatever. If Damon called me today, I'm going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
I'm just that type of nigga. Like, I'm a loyal nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that was something that they didn't even have to do, or they could have just took the idea and just
ran with it.
Just said, hey, let's reproduce this. And you know what I'm saying? Now I'm fighting it. Nah, you didn't really do that. We don't care. Like, niggas do that every day.
Right. Because you also did it on their property.
Exactly.
It's not like it was in your computer. It was on the because this is a thing. So for them to to stay solid in that type of situation, because you wouldn't have won that in court. You wouldn't have won that in court.
Here's the thing. You remember when I told you that sheet that everybody's supposed to sign?
You didn't sign it.
You didn't sign it.
That's the leverage.
Got you.
So, because I didn't sign that sheet, I had a little bit more leverage. But at the same time,
you never needed it. Wasn't even a question.
It ain't about that because the relationship was cool. And
absolutely.
And that's why I like talking about experiences that happen like that, as well as experiences that don't, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because it's like you have to let people know like this shit ain't always fire, and it can always go however, because they're the underdogs. It's they shit. So just like all these other artists that's getting fire overnight, they got the company. It's they shit. If they want to pay you $2 for the beat, do you want to go viral or not? Take this $2 and shut the hell up or leave.
And was this your first placement?
That was my first placement like that. That was my first single. That was like my first big placement.
Okay.
I think my first placement was, my very first placement is not worth mentioning. My first placement that I would like to talk about is Bobby Valentino, Gangsta Love with my cousin Swift. And really, my cousin Swift did the whole beat. He did it. I was working with him at the time, and you know, we were the band for Bobby Valentino, and Tim and Bob really took a liking to us and our music. And the shit that we was doing at the time just wasn't as fire as the shit that, you know, Swift did. Like, we had the musicality, but not the sonics and, like, you know, figuring out the mixing and shit. So, shout out to Swift on that. But yeah, that was the first placement we did.
Ooh, yeah. R&B Money.